I feel like using, but I'm not going to right now.
I am extremely pissed that Danny relapsed after 12 years, and I completely feel like he is choosing drugs over his family. By the way that Danny was acting, I started to have suspicions that he was using again. I found out because I tracked his phone and saw he was going to some questionable places in town. It was a punch in the gut. I felt like I had been cheated on. Danny completely hides all of his drug use, and he 100% blames me for his meth use.
Right now, meth, I'm not gonna say meth. Right now, I'm not gonna say meth. I can't. Right now, I can't say that. What else could I say?
Danny blames me for not helping out with the business, not taking good enough care of the kids, for my dog not being potty trained. He blames me for basically everything. Meth has made Danny angry, volatile, short-tempered, and makes him flip on a dime. When Danny is high, he calls me a crazy, stupid whore. Danny has punched walls, thrown a planter at my car. He's gotten in my face, and he's even said that our story would end up on Dateline. It was very concerning for me. Danny's become very paranoid because of meth. He thinks that people are always talking about him, that they're watching the house. It's a lot of bizarre behaviors. Danny is not present as a father. He's high around the kids every day. He's missed our daughter's first homecoming dance, our son's tournament, our daughter cheerleading, birthday parties, family dinners. It definitely feels like I'm a single mom. I do everything myself. Danny is constantly telling me that I need to accept his meth use. It is only impacting himself and his body. I think it is absolutely ridiculous that it has the biggest impact on the family. He is absolutely clueless right now. Danny needs to wake up all the way.
Okay, Alisa, are you here to make a decision today?
I am definitely here.
So he needs to do something, or you're going to do something,
All
right?
right, yes, I
So
will.
continuing what you're now doing is not an option.
No.
Okay, I just want to be real clear about that,
Yes.
because you have made some decisions that essentially validated or accepted what he's done virtually your entire relationship,
Yes.
because you guys have been together how many years?
17.
You've been married 14 and a half?
Yes.
You've been together 17.
Yes.
And you knew when you were first together that he had a drug problem.
I did. Yes.
Because
I did.
right when you were together, he got arrested for drugs.
He did.
And that was a probation violation,
Yes.
which was regarding a prior drug
Yes.
charge.
Yes.
So going in, big red flag,
Yeah.
waving back and forth.
There was, yes.
And he, of course, was telling you, look, I want to put this behind me. I want to be a good mate. So he was saying all the right things, right?
Yes. Yes, he did.
And then you got pregnant.
Yes.
And before she was even born, he was back in jail again.
He was.
So you had early warning. What did you say to yourself then?
That he would love us enough to stop.
So you're going to fix him.
Yeah.
How's that working for you?
It's not.
That's not
Nothing's
working.
working. No.
Okay. Now, in April of this year, what happened?
He was acting strange for the few months before that, and I had asked him a few times if he was using, and he just said, "No, you're tripping. I, wouldn't do that again." And then,
But he has mannerisms. He's
Yes.
doing meth, right?
Yes, and I could tell from, back before, I could tell from the way he was acting.
Just kind of rambles on,
Yeah.
flight of ideas.
Yes.
Just blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And he gets by on no sleep.
Yeah. Yes.
He lost a lot of weight. He
a ton of weight.
he had lost a lot of weight before
Yeah.
he had the relapse, but
Yes.
then he really dropped, right?
It was a different type of. He was sucked up. He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much did he weigh before at his peak?
350.
Okay, what's he weigh now?
Probably 140, 150.
Okay. So he's dropped like 210 pounds.
Yes. Yeah.
And some of that was on purpose.
Yes.
And some of it's because he's like high speeding. Just
Yes. Yeah.
no sleep, constant movement.
Yeah.
all
he's
of
not,
that.
He's not eating.
Yeah, because he's tweaking.
Yes.
So you left.
I did.
Okay, now I have a serious problem with that little episode. You, as a mother, made the decision to leave, but you left your 3 children, and those 3 children are 16, 11, and 7.
Yes.
2 boys and a girl.
Yes.
You left and left them with a meth head.
Yeah.
What the hell are you thinking?
I wasn't thinking.
What kind of mother walks out the door and says, I'm leaving you because you're on meth, but I'm going to leave my kids with you?
Yeah.
Take me through that conversation you had with yourself.
Well, I knew that it was a bad situation for us to be together in the same house, and we were just arguing, and so I knew I had to leave the situation, and he told me to get out, and I did, and I felt okay because my 16-year-old was there, and I knew if she felt unsafe or questioned anything, she would tell me.
So you're an adult with life experience and maturity and a lot of knowledge about what his history is, and you can't handle it, but you'll leave it with your 16-year-old to manage him and 2 children.
Yeah.
I 100% take accountability for my addictions, but my wife Alisa is a majority of the reason why I continue to use. In no way, shape, or form does Alisa have a comprehension that I have a disease. She thinks it's like I can just flip off a switch and be better.
And that's where the line broke in the wall behind there and flooded for like 3 days.
A year ago, our entire house got flooded and was severely damaged. In order to save money, Alisa and I agreed to do the work ourselves, but I ended up doing 80% of it myself. Spackle, drywall, flooring, hot water heaters, backsplashes, kitchen cabinets, everything. I begged and begged for help, but she just sat back and watched me do most of the work. The stress got so bad, I relapsed. Alisa just constantly adds stress. Alisa and I bought 2 food trucks together and she had a very successful concession business, but I'm the one keeping it afloat right now. When she's there, she's doing minimal work. Alisa does not understand the business has given us the life that we've been able to live. The house, the pool, the car, the vacations, everything. Alisa's lack of involvement triggers me to use. Even my kids cause major triggers when they're just not motivated in helping with the business or helping with the house. Instead, they choose to just play video games and go on the internet and watch TV. Because of the relapse, Alisa's painted me as the bad guy. But when I use, I feel I'm more fun to be around. I'm in a better mood, I have more energy, I get more done. I don't even know how anybody would know I'm using. I'm very high functioning. I go to work, I run the business. I had the energy and motivation to put up all the Christmas lights and displays around the house. In fact, we won the competition in the neighborhood 2 years in a row. Right now, I feel like I'm a better father and husband when I use. It's nearly impossible for me to stop using because I have very little help from my family.
Okay, Danny, how are you?
I'm doing okay, very nervous, a little nervous. Yeah.
A little nervous? I understand.
Anxious.
Have you done drugs today?
I had a drink. And yes.
You had a drink and yes?
I took medication for my back, yes.
Okay, have you done meth today?
No, not today.
Okay, but you had a drink for breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What'd you have?
Some Jose Cuervo mixed in an energy drink.
Oh, okay. So caffeine and tequila
Yes, sir.
and a pain pill.
Yes, sir.
You say that this doesn't affect Alisa or the kids at all.
My addictions?
Yeah, that this just impacts you, not them. But yet you said because you're very high functioning.
Yes, I feel that way sometimes.
Yeah. But you say it does affect them in a positive way because you're more energetic, you're more fun to be around, you have more to offer because of the energy.
Not necessarily, Dr. Phil. I am not. I mean, like if I saw my kids doing that, I don't want to teach my kids that, thinking that that's what is okay. But like right now, yes, sometimes I feel, yeah. Otherwise, I'd be laying in bed, just depressed.
And your frustration with Alisa, I'm just talking about what I heard you say in your tape piece is she doesn't understand that this is a disease.
Yeah, I feel that way completely, yes.
But you understand that it's a disease.
I feel it is.
Well, I agree with you, by the way.
Yes.
It's resistant to treatment. It's subject to relapse. It's a very difficult disease to deal with. So you understand it and she doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
are you doing for it?
Nothing.
It sounds to me like maybe you're not as high functioning as you think you are.
Yeah.
But you say she's 75% of the reason. Sometimes you said 100%. Other times you said 75%. Let's take the conservative. You said she's 75% of the reason that you relapsed.
I did.
And you said you had to do all the remodeling, the fixing. She wouldn't spackle. She wouldn't do anything. And I'm pretty expertise in this, and I've never seen spouse spackling as a trigger.
I apologize, Dr. Phil. It is more than that. It was, working the insurance, the contractors, just the phone calls and paperwork side of it too. It wasn't so much as just construction. When Alisa first met me, she knew I was an addict. I never lied to her about it. Now she acts like she doesn't understand that I have addiction problems. I've had one relapse after 15 years, and she can't forgive me and help me with it.
When I met Danny 17 years ago, I was 17 when I met him. He was 20. I had no idea how bad meth was. I had no idea what it does to you. I had no idea you could be addicted to it.
Now I can only assume she looked past that because I had a successful restaurant and money.
Danny had been clean from meth for about 12 years, but to this day, Danny continues to drink and take pain medication. Things have gotten a lot worse since his weight loss surgery. He went from being 350 pounds to 140 pounds.
I did begin drinking every day. I would constantly sip on alcohol, but I was completely functioning. I was still running the business. I never once abandoned them.
The kids have seen him completely drunk, passed out on the floor, throwing up, him telling me not to let him fall asleep because he was gonna die. It's embarrassing and extremely traumatic for the kids to see their dad act like that. Danny's constantly showing up to events drunk or under the influence of pain medication. One time he got completely drunk at a concert we were working, and our daughter witnessed him running out into the street with security directing traffic. It was crazy. He had our business logo on his shirt. Everybody knew who he was with. I told him that I was done, that I can't do it if he continues to live this way. I'm not sticking around for the business. It is a make or break in our marriage.
For the most part, I really feel I didn't have a problem drinking. I just worked hard and played hard.
Danny's completely out of control, and it needs to stop now.
Okay, so you said he was doing the drugs again for 5 months before you found out about it.
Yes.
And then it's been several months since you found out about it.
Yes.
So it's been about a year.
Yes.
Okay. And before that time, he was drinking and doing the pills?
Yes.
You haven't been sober.
No, not 100% sober, no.
Well, it's kind of like being pregnant. You're either pregnant or you're not.
Yeah.
You're sober or you're not. And you were getting drunk enough that you're running out and directing traffic when you're neither security nor a traffic cop.
I had a wand, though.
And in your last family vacation, you were drunk and vomiting in front of the children and said you were dying.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great memory for kids. But you don't have a problem with drinking.
No.
Other than when you're laying on the floor vomiting and saying you're dying, or you're passed out and the kids are fine. Other than that, you don't have a problem with drinking.
Yeah, I've got a problem with drinking.
And you do mix it with pain pills.
I have, yes.
Do you drive?
No.
Does he drive?
Yes.
Has he done so with the kids in the car?
With me in the car. Yeah.
And the kids?
Yeah.
I don't remember those
Sure you don't.
situations. Yeah. I mean, why would you let me drive if I'm really
The
that?
same reason she left for 6 weeks and left the kids with a meth head, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, what the hell are you two thinking? What? Well, you understand, I'm a mandated reporter.
Yes.
If I have evidence of children being in a potentially harmful situation, I have a duty to intervene and either change that situation or report that situation to the Department of Child and Family Services.
Yes, sir.
Our daughter definitely knows about Danny's drinking, about his drug use. She can definitely see that we're not happy with each other right now. I made the mistake of talking about Danny to my friends, to my family, in front of my daughter. I would ask my daughter if we should move across the country. It would be better over there because I wanted my kids to be happy. I hate that I've brought my 16-year-old daughter into adult drama. It will bother me forever.
I'm not saying I'm a good dad using drugs, but I'm a good dad. I've never treated my kids wrong.
Well, interestingly, Danny says his addictions are not what are affecting his kids, that it's your parenting that's affecting the children.
Lisa's absolutely turned the kids against me, and I feel I can't parent at all anymore.
He is the one that has made the kids not want to be around him. They definitely have seen everything that's been going on, and that has led them to their own conclusions.
She's badmouthed me in front of the kids. On numerous occasions, Alisa has literally called me a tweaker in front of my kids. It infuriates the hell out of me. Even if it's true, I don't want her to say that in front of the kids. My sons are way too young to be hearing that. Alisa's claim to fame is she's the one raising the kids.
Danny accuses me of turning my kids into little.
They don't do chores, they don't pick up after themselves, and she'll still give them whatever they want. Alisa doesn't discipline the kids at all, therefore they don't listen to me, and that's a huge trigger for me.
He is their father too, and he has every opportunity to be their dad and to help me raise them, and he chooses not to.
Besides my drug addiction, I'm a better dad than Alisa is a mom because I'm trying to teach them life lessons that are gonna help them as adults. There's just there's so much more to it that just has all happened so quick. Everything hasn't been able to understandably been explained or, brought up. So,
Well, I'm going to tell you why. It's called outrageous overshadowing. That is when one partner's behavior is so outrageous that it overshadows the behavior of another. You are a meth addict, alcoholic, pain pill taking, gambling addict, and saying you're the better parent.
That wasn't, I even said, that wasn't, I'm not saying I'm a better parent.
No, you did say you're a better parent. I have it on tape. I can play it for you again.
Share what I said right before and right after that was cut out.
Yeah, we can play everything you say,
Mm-hmm.
but the point is, you are playing a very dangerous game.
Yes.
With your own health.
Yes, sir. Completely agree.
And as the leader of this family with children, you need to get your act together.
Yes.
There's a tipping point. Let me tell you something. When you're taking meth, there's a tipping point. Here's a guy age 23, but here he is 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. This is 48 to 53. This is across a 5-year period. This is a very normal-looking lady. Here she is 5 years later. That's meth mouth for sure. This is 2.5 years from this to this. This is dangerous stuff you're playing with.
Yes, sir. I've seen it firsthand.
And you need to stop.
Yes, sir.
Do you love him?
I do.
You believe in him?
I do.
If I went to rehab, I'd be worried the whole entire time and not be able to focus on recovery because I'd be worried about how Alisa's running the business.
Danny has said that if he goes to rehab, I would not be able to handle the business, the kids, just our life in general. But because Danny's been on drugs, I've had to do it myself anyways.
We've got a drinking, pill-popping drug addict in the home with the history that you have, and a mother showing judgment of leaving the kids with this person for 6 weeks. There's a very high likelihood that these children could be removed from this home for very good reason, immediately. And so I'm just curious what you propose to do.
Just a week ago, I told Alisa, I said, if we don't work out or whatever, like, have you started looking into a job? If I'm such a bad person, maybe she's such a wonderful mother, maybe she should start getting a job. Or we have 2 food trucks. She could work one and I could work the other.
I do understand that this is a disease, and that's why I'm saying I don't react to that. I believe you are, at your core, a good guy. You need some help, and you deserve it.
Thank you. Yeah.
I mean, you deserve some help here. You fought this long enough.
Yeah.
And this isn't just a one element sort of thing. You've got several things going on here, and it's kind of a complex ball of yarn, and you need help in unraveling that. And for your children, and because I believe in you, I'm prepared to make that available to you, because I think it's time that somebody helped you instead of judged you. Joining us virtually from A Better Life Recovery is Ted Guastello, the Chief Strategy Officer. A Better Life Recovery is an integrated drug and alcohol addiction treatment center located in Orange County, California, serving adult men. Now, they offer one of the most highly regarded and comprehensive addiction treatment programs in the entire country. And they specifically run a small program so they can meet the needs of the individuals one-on-one in order to work on a deeper level. So Ted, thank you for being here today.
Dr. Phil, I think you nailed it when you talked about the complex ball of yarn that is the situation facing Danny and his family. It's not uncommon to see an individual have multiple addictions, all stemming from a root hurt or dysfunction or pain. And so we at A Better Life Recovery are prepared to offer Danny a spot in our premier residential program in Orange County, where our psychiatrists, therapists, case managers will work with Danny individually to get to the core underlying issues that are just fueling this behavior.
Well, Alisa, how do you feel about the plan that we're talking about here?
I feel really good. I think it will really help our family.
Well, I think so too. He's the target patient here in terms of the addiction and all, but it's important that when he returns home that you've been part of this process and that you've been engaged and know everything that's going on and can be constructive in the process as well, and can get some help along the way at the same time. And with you leaning into this as earnestly as you are, and you being supportive, as a mandated reporter, I feel like I've done what I need to do, and I don't feel like that I need to report anything here at all. I think we've intervened and done the best job that needs to be done, and I think these kids are where they need to be, and
Thank you, Dr.
I'm
Phil.
very comfortable with us continuing right where we are.
Thank you.
Fair enough?
Thank you, Dr. Phil. Yes.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank
Good
you.
deal.
Thank
All right.
you.
All right. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a very special thanks to Ted Guastello and A Better Life Recovery. And if you want to know more about A Better Life Recovery, I'll have a link to them on the website They are one impressive organization. You can also find me talking about this on Facebook. You're going to have a lot of comments and thoughts and questions about this, and so I look forward to continuing the dialogue with you on that. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and everywhere else.
He's a meth addict
Danny is high around the kids.
and blames it on his wife.
He says she stresses him out and forces him to use.
I'm not saying I'm a better parent.
No, you did say you're a better parent. I have it on tape.
Next, Dr. Phil. Check your local listings.